It's fucking great, it was. Short, long story short, I'm gonna bring some comedians on. Very funny man, a very good friend of mine. He's all the way from over there. Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together and give it up for Mr. Greg Marks, everybody.
Thank the bollocks. Jesus, I could have said the home without abuse. Nah, you're grand, thanks very much. No, I could have said the home without abuse, to be honest with you folks. Because my wife, she's taller than me, and she's always abusing me. I mean, last week she forced me to have anal sex with her father. Now I was shocked as well, you know, because he's not even from Austria. And he's a very considerate lover. But anyway, I just want to clarify something before we crack on into this. I just want to say, I'm not the bastard love child of Ricky Gervais. Alright? But I do, you know, I do have a couple of things in common with the comedy genius. Obviously the ability to make people laugh isn't one of them. Yeah, but I do have a big fat head and neck. Yeah, Jesus Christ. But anyway, but you would be surprised how much you get paid for a Ricky Gervais lookalike prostitute these days. And all I had to do was to dance. Well, when I say that's all I had to do, obviously, I was in the yeah. Fucking, it's all fucking mad, so what, come on to dance. Anyway, but yeah, this whole Ricky Gervais thing. I don't know. It's alright. He's obviously not that famous then, fuck that. But anyway, yeah, so this whole Ricky Gervais thing, it's a bit sad. But I suppose it could be worse. Actually, I used to have long hair and a fatter face. And people used to think I was the bastard love child of Mary Harney and Brian Cowan. I don't know where they got that from. Because obviously you all know Mary Harney, she's our Minister for Health. No contradiction there, folks, is there? Because when I think health, I think Mary Harney. Yeah, okay. But in fairness, she's a great role model for people with type 2 diabetes and women with hairy backs. And she does a great work for those children's charities. You know that one? Oh, what's it called? What's it? Burger King. That's the one. And UNICEF, or is that Little Chef? There you go. Yeah. But she has a tough job, ladies and gentlemen. She really has a really tough job. She's got a lot on her plate. Yeah, it's fucking piled high. Fucking breakfast royals, swan goujons and cream cakes. And that's for the other fella, Brian Cowan. He's our leader. Now I was nearly going to say me dad, fuck. But I know I'm not the hatefully face myself, but he's got some head, hasn't he? He's the closest thing that I've ever seen to a Down syndrome pig. And seemingly he was that ugly when he was born. The actual midwife thought the placenta came out first. I know. But then when she tidied him up, she realised it was just one of his lips. But yeah, anyway, sometimes comedy ain't pretty, folks. But it's gas, some of my mates are really jealous because I look like famous people. And one of them comes up to me the other day and he goes, Alright Greg, you may think you look like fucking Ricky Gervais. You may think you look like fucking Ricky Gervais, but you're just not bloody funny, mate. You're just not bloody funny. As you can tell from my friend's accent, he's a cunt. But he's a lovely lad. Trigger we call him, affectionately, you know, but he is very, very stupid. And I'll just give you an example of how stupid he is. I was doing a gig in front of about 200 accountants, believe it or not, before Christmas. It was fucking nightmare it was. They were all just sitting at me, staring at me blankly, a bit like pigs being showed a Jade Goody fitness DVD, you know, just really, really blank. A bit like the way you are looking at me now, strangely enough. Yeah, and Trigger comes over and he goes, What was it like? Were you scared? I says, Tell you Trigger, I felt like Barack Obama at a Ku Klux Klan rally. And he just looks at me and goes, What's your man from the cave doing at the Ku Klux Klan rally? What fellow in the cave? I said, You fucking idiot. I didn't say Osama bin Laden, I said Barack Obama. And he just told me, he goes, Is he not the same fella? I said, No, Trig. One is the leader of the biggest terrorist group in the world, and the other fella has a beard. Yeah, so there you go. But it's gas, actually, I was with him in Liverpool at a Stags. in Liverpool, which is a fucking great place. Anybody been to Liverpool? Show of hands? Yeah. It's a great place, isn't it? I just found them very, very generous, and because it was stag, we had to go to do the old lap dancing. Because you know what they say, when in heat, basically. So anyway, we went to the lap dancing club, and the lap dancers gave Trigger a present for his missus and himself for the wedding, which I thought was quite nice. But I didn't think gonorrhea and syphilis were actually on the wedding present. This strange enough. Jesus Christ. Anyway, I'll just leave you with a couple of things, ladies and gentlemen. When I'm actually falling apart, age-wise, just everything's fallen, just disappeared. It's really just sad. And I went to the doctor there the other day, and he says, I've got some very bad news for you, Greg. You're going to have to sit down. So I did. And he says, you're going to have to stop masturbating. So I just looked at him and he says, no, now, will you put your flute away? Will you? You're putting off all the other patients. So anyway, I sat down and he goes, yeah, you've got abnormal sperm. I just looked at him. And then he goes, and it actually tastes quite weird. And see all the lads in the audience go, oh, that's disgusting. And all the girls go, no, but he's right, it does taste quite weird. Eggnog and bleach. But anyway, just leave it on this, my sex drive is like cocaine at an Amy Winehouse party. Yeah, fucking gone. It's just disappeared. Even me missus is giving me out at this stage. You know, she comes up to me today, she goes, Greg, I had a fucking dream last night. She's not gay or anything. I just can't do impressions of witches. But she goes, yeah, I had a fucking dream last night that you wouldn't have sex with me anymore. And then I realised when I woke up that was 5.5 fucking years ago. I says, Jesus, Sharon, just relax, keep your knickers on, keep your knickers on. And she goes, that's the fucking problem, they're always on. I says, look, I can be adventurous. So that night we got really, really drunk. And I says, let's try a tree in a bed. And we did. And we both woke up with branches shoved up our arses. I had a bit of pigeon shite in my hair, and Sharon ended up with a little thrush. Anyway, I've been Greg Marks, you've been great.